Y'all knows before he asked me, you got Tia Mowry unable to let Cory Hardrict go. I mean, throughout the entirety of her show, she spoke on Cory Hardrict. She even got the mother from Sister Sister to turn against Cory, which I know she gonna regret that. Cause that was just straight up ignorant and foolish because Cory was only a good person to her. But I want to jump right into the video and you'll see what I mean by an individual unable, incapable of coping with the decision that they made. And now Cory don't want nothing to do with her sorry ass. Let's get right into it.
Despite her post about embracing singleness and thirst traps on the gram, Tia Mowry seems to be having a hard time letting
Girl,
go of her
goofy, bro.
ex-husband Cory Hardrict, both emotionally and physically. Because soon after Cory did a sit down with Essence, reflecting on being single and outside and open to new love, Tia posted another family picture on Instagram. But this time, it looks like she was gripping Cory's wrist so hard that her veins were showing. And the
Look at that face that she making. That's why I know Cory was like, I'm sick of this goofy ass beat. Like, you gotta understand something. He already don't want to deal with the chick. He doing it for the kids because he loves his children, as all men do. But when you look at her hands, looked like she was about to turn into the Hulk. I bet he was like, "Let me go." She said, "Don't make me angry." That's what happened right here. That's what happened. I'm telling you what happened.
The fact that a picture this obvious made it to her Instagram photo dump makes you wonder if Tia was trying to send a hands off message
Hell
to
yeah, she
whatever
was.
woman might be lurking around her ex.
Hell
Because
yeah.
it's no secret that for a while it seemed like Tia was pulling out all the stops to get that old thing back, even to the point of not negating the rumors about them being back together. And just weeks after he mentioned her show Quick Fix, when he called out how people in the industry operate without spiritual integrity and moral compass in order to get ahead, Tia decided to put away her crystals and started posting things.
Yeah, and y'all remember on that show, her assistant that had her worshiping deities, talking to the ancestors, literally doing necromancy, divination, all type of weird shit. And you know, Cory always stated what he believed in and always stand on what he believes in, which is God, the Most High, the Majesty on high, the Ancient of Days, the God of Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac. But this girl want to go into her whole phase. And you know, once they start going into that phase, they got to start worshiping other deities. They got to start worshiping the zodiacs because that's what they do. They ain't looking for no stable situation. Any woman that go after zodiac signs understand this. They know that zodiac signs are inaccurate as hell. If that was the case, everybody would have a fruitful relationship and be married. But they know that ain't the case. That's why they got to dibble and dabble. So if he's this, I think we get along for a little while. You see, everything is just for temporary. It's ephemeral. It's not meant to last. It's not longevity. It is a pump and dump situation. Women are acting more masculine than ever. And when they go after these Gnostic type religions and bullshit, that's when they get into the crystals and the self-motivation and that I'm above men and or equal to men. And that's where all the confusion comes from.
About crawling back to God after trying to do things her way.
Big love to New York.
I'm gonna get
Natalie
out of
just
this. That
placed a
that
killer
part where
order
she
for
crawling about
protein
the God
coffee.
is
What's
funny.
going in her box?
Oh, let me put
Mocha,
that up right quick.
original.
Now look at this shit. Instead of me crawling back to God, but playing. I don't like people like that joke around. She wasn't laughing and being all weird when it came down to those deities talking about some throwing her, I mean, burning her. What was she burning her wedding dress or some shit? No, I don't think she burned her wedding. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I know she was burning something in regards to her wedding and throwing shit in the fire and all this odd shit. The ring that Cory Hardrict gave her, she literally split it up and divided it amongst the church and like, he don't want nothing to do with your sorry ass. Just give it up. She went out. She thought the streets was gonna be so welcoming to her that she was gonna find another dude that want her and care about her as Cory did. No, ma'am, it doesn't work like a lot of people out there that's having these situationships and these casual relationships are really out of their mind. They're unable to have a monogamous relationship and just be, you know, somebody that can, be trusted. Those people cannot be trusted. They literally putting on a face, a mask when they go to these clubs just to get you in a bed, get what they want, and then they on to the next.
But it seems like Cory didn't fall for it because soon after, he was letting the people know he was single.
I am a single man. You know, it's no secret. And occasionally I mingle, you know what I'm saying?
Occasionally,
Which led to Tia deleting her post and
I
instead,
like that.
after months of silence on the rumors that she and her ex had gotten back together, finally addressed them by posting a video saying she was single in her 40s and was soon back to.
And the reason why she did that, because I believe she was trying to ease up Cory, get off the internet, be behind the scenes, doing little, drop-offs with the kids, dressing provocative, probably, saying little things in his ear. I know you used to like this. You like this, huh? Da da da. Trying to get the man aroused. He probably was like, man, I ain't into that shit. I'm good. I got me a little young thing over there I'm messing with. She probably said, man, I'm sick of trying for months. Drove her ass insane. Then she had to make that video when she got a thing all out and open on the bed.
Featuring her relationship with industry friends like Gabrielle Union and how the two and another friend were blending families on spring vacation together. It's giving that Cory Hardrict must have tuned into Tia's reality show and caught all the subliminals she was sending his way. Because just a few weeks after the final episode aired, he had this to say on a podcast called Why Not Me with Mike Jackson.
You can't really trust people with your spirit and soul out here. It was always like information they want from you or what can they get from you. And it felt like everything was that everywhere you turn. Like everything is like disingenuous. Like, if you're not paying somebody, it's like the people you're paying are the people who are enabling you. No one's truthful or honest because everything's connected to something. Like if you remove that connection, who's real, Mike? Then you got two people.
That's what's
you
up.
remove the connection of nothing. You can gain or get anything from anyone out here. You're going to see who's real. I ain't with none of the fake shit, Mike. I just don't rock with it. I never have, never will. I don't care if you got money. What's money? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because you can't take none of this shit with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing can go with you but your spirit. That's how you come in. That's how you leaving. So, you got to be careful and treat people kind and treat them the way you want to be treated. Move with love. Move with some integrity, some moral compass. I think that's missing here. There is no moral compass out here. Everything is, like the quick fix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instant. Everything is instant, man.
Now, Cory said all this after the conversation.
Now, he said some real shit. Because at the end of the day, when you look at how she had those people around her on her show, just hanging around, saying etc., doing etc., pushing her towards different gods, ideology of being single, having her all in Vegas in the clubs. He was basically pointing out the fact that people like that on your payroll going to enable you because they know you want to feel a certain way. They know you want to be a certain way. So they know that you're enabling her and her emotions to literally act it out. That's what's really going on.
Conversation had previously gone into how working in the industry will try to redefine your whole purpose in life. And in those few sentences, he touched on fake friends who align themselves with you any way they can in order to find out what's going on in your life so they can somehow work it to their advantage. He talked about the handlers who sometimes masquerade as employees that are actually being paid to enable the celebrities and capitalize on any weaknesses that they come across.
And that is true. And I ain't going to go deep into that, but we already know in Hollywood what happens when they send handlers your way. And their job is to influence, coerce, basically like demons. And they're motivated by that very machine to, make you fall deeper into darkness. And then once you wake up and you realize that, damn, I messed up my whole life because of the people that I had around me that I thought was for me, but they really were just handlers, handling me, mishandling you in your life.
And he talked about how the lures of money or someone else's concept of what success looks like lead to people going after quick fixes or instant results that have them operating without integrity or moral compass.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000?
He's 100% right too. I mean, Cory stayed grounded, I ain't gonna lie.
Now, does anyone else find it interesting that before he quickly corrects himself and says instant, Cory initially used the term quick fix, which happens to be
Yeah.
the title of Tia's YouTube channel, when he referred to how people think they need to throw away their integrity and moral compass for success in the industry. Now, people can say it was just coincidence or that it was just his familiarity with the term, but based on the timing of the interview, coming right on the heels of Tia's reality show ending, it seems more like a Freudian slip. Because aside from the show being a look at Tia's journey into her next act following her choice to divorce, which people have every right to do as they grow and change and sometimes become even more unequally yoked. The problem is that Tia used this show to take several jabs at Cory.
That's true.
So by this time, Cory could have seen all the episodes of how she tried to imply that she hadn't been happy with her marriage for years. Could have seen the clips go around where the show revealed that early on in the marriage, Tia knew she had made a mistake when she married Cory.
Now that is straight up wow. Let me tell you something. For Cory to hear that, I would never, ever, ever give that chick even the slightest hope. You keep that chick at a distance. You make sure she understand that when you get into your new relationship, that she's there to see it all. And I guarantee you, once Cory actually find that mate that's actually gonna be, equally yoked, that chick finna crash out, believe me. Saying those diabolical things about Cory, how much he sacrificed to be with her, even putting himself on the back burner at times, is wild work. Crazy work.
That she had settled for Cory and was living an illusion to give people the idea that she was in this perfect marriage. But when you recall that back in 2009, when Tia's sister Tamara had broken up with her then boyfriend Adam Housley, and Tamara ended up dating Hosea Chanchez, one of Tia's castmates from the game, the paparazzi caught up with the three of them one night and must have confused the twins because Tia had this to say.
I'm Tia, the one with the ring. Oh. So don't get it twisted. Okay, Tia. That's my sister, the one without the ring. I'm married. Yeah,
You saw the way Tamara was looking like, damn, I understand that, but you ain't got to be so aggressive with it. Like you trying to throw me under the bus. But on top of that, Tia was like fighting for her marriage, like almost throwing it in people's faces, like, I'm married, I'm married. Like it was just like a trophy to her, like something to showcase.
Really?
No validation.
Tia, the one that's married.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
People always get it mixed up.
All right. That's funny. All you ladies.
Now, Tia seemed real quick to throw her marital status up as a prize, to the point of using it as a distinguishing factor between the twins, instead of the normal, Tamara's the one with the beauty mark. Now, maybe Tia was trying to avoid people spreading rumors about her possibly dating her co-stars, rumors that could have affected her marriage.
Yeah.
But the way Tia came out of a bag on the paparazzi by saying she was the one with the ring, she was the one married, might hit a little differently when you realize that Tamara had allegedly just been dumped by Adam after being intimate for the first time in her life. Because she thought he was going to propose. That is so off-brand for her, to the point where she let several strange men hump and grind on her in front of the cameras, regardless of whether their teenage son would be able to see clips of this or even be teased about it by his peers.
And I know I would. Let me know your mama out there acting like a 304 at that point in time. Boy, I'd have teased the shit out of you. Man, I would have been like, damn, your mama thirsty as hell.
Cory could have seen how Tia let her assistant bring the craft of supposedly speaking with loved ones who are gone from this world into the Christian home that he thought they were raising their children in. Or maybe
good relation. 8,000.
Oh, damn,
That's so many minutes.
I'm trying to find that one when y'all see what I'm talking about. Hold on.
Regarded. I was like not wanting to date, do anything like that. My mind wasn't really to be in a relationship or part of a relationship or anything like that. I was hurt, but not lying.
will ruin your life.
But the most recent subliminal came after Cory received all sorts of accolades for his memorable portrayal of Dallas on Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black,
I don't know
which
about
streamed
memorable.
#1 worldwide. And Cory started making the rounds with Megan Good at his side. And on the heels of his well-earned success and being paid millions for this role, Tia used her reality show to bring in a special guest, a person who was someone who had previously defended Cory when Tia seemingly tried to sabotage his momentum in the industry before. So about 8 months before Tia filed for divorce from Cory, she published her quick fix episode on her YouTube channel, which featured Loretta Devine and Jack A. Harry, who had both played the role of her TV mom on their respective shows. The conversation turned to the pay gap between men and women, and Tia had
My husband is an actor.
Cory, yeah.
Cory, Mr. Cory Hardrict. And when he booked a role, he was getting paid more money than me. And I'm like, what? And I really think it was because he is a male.
Oh, I'm gonna speak up for Cory. He deserved it.
Now look at that. That same woman that was on Sister Sister, the same woman who got on her show enrolled for Tia after the divorce because people ain't real. They gotta choose. Like they gotta choose. You don't have to do any of that. If you love both people, you can still remain mutual. You don't have to choose any side. That was just diabolical and sinister and nasty that a motherfucker would do that. That's how you know at the end of the day, people ain't really for you. They're not.
You deserved it, fool.
She said Cory deserved that shit. And
Now,
people were saying that, you know, Cory was broke. You know, he ain't making no money. Tia making money at that old ass Sister Sister show. Are you serious? In the game was nah. I ain't gonna even go there. That game show was mediocre to trash. The first season was okay. After that, it went downhill. And let me tell you something. Cory was making more money because he's a better actor. Period.
you see how Jack A immediately took up for Cory and said how he deserved that? It's because Jack A recognized that contrary to what Tia was insinuating at the time, Cory had actually been putting in work on a consistent basis for years.
And she tried to undermine his acting ability because she was trying to say that she was better. How's he getting paid more than me? Because he's just a man, probably. It's not because of his acting prowess. Not even giving him no type of accolade. But that's what these jealous women do. That's what these manly type women do.
Years. Whether he was working side by side with A-list celebrities and blockbuster films that generated over $2.5 billion at the box office, or whether he was working on hood classics like Brotherly Love or long-running shows like Cold Case or The Chi. Cory has over 105 acting credits to his name. So contrary to the narrative that Tia tried to push, him getting paid more was a result of someone finally recognizing his hard work and recompensing him for the talent he brought to the projects.
And that is real. That is 100% real. The man played in a whole bunch of movies. I know a lot of movies ain't memorable, but, you know, I feel like Cory, if he was to push himself and go a little harder, he would be more memorable. But he's definitely a better actor than Tia. Tia is a CW sitcom actress. She can't even really hold down a movie. I can't even ever see her in a movie. There's some actors and actresses that they just can't play in movies that go to the movie theater. They can play in little Lifetime movies, but they can't play in movies that's supposed to be on the big screen. Nah, they can't do it.
Now, fast forward 2 years later, when Tia invites Jack A onto her new reality show to get related.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
And to discuss the breakdown of her marriage. And this time, Jack A implies that Cory was an out-of-work actor who was depressed, hinting that that was possibly what led to the divorce. And in addition to
Which was utterly wrong. She was paid to say that. Tia had to make sure that was the narrative, and it's truly sad. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. I feel like this was a very informative video in regards to their situation, and it makes a lot of sense now when you look at all the facts and evidence. And I'm up out of there.